Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Ramadan Reminders by Sapience Institute. In the last juz of the Quran, many of the surahs in fact describe the scenes of Qiyamah, describe the terrors, the horrors of the Day of Judgment. Many surahs. Perhaps the most descriptive of them all is Surah At-Takwir, Surah 81. Ibn Abbas used to say that if you want to imagine Yawm al-Qiyamah as if you're seeing it, then read Surah At-Takwir, because it's very descriptive and the imagery of Qiyamah is really in that surah, very powerful. Surah At-Takwir, Surah 81 of the Quran. But the focus in fact of today's verse is on something that comes later on in that surah, in which Allah says subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, then where are you going? What's the context of فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Remember that in the beginning, people said many things about the Prophet of Allah ﷺ in Mecca, his enemies, antagonists, detractors. They were saying things like he's possessed and he's mad and he's overcome by shaitan, all of these different kinds of things. And Allah answers them in that surah. You say he's possessed, what about this? You say he's mad, what about this? This is from shaitan, what about that? Then Allah says, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, where are you going? So Allah says, where are you going with all of this? All of this noise and commotion and this and that, where are you going with all of this? It's very powerful in fact, that one ayah, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, so where are you going? And all of these talks will continue and different detractors, antagonists will come and go, but where are they going with all of this? فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, where are you going with this? What's happening? What's happening in life? Where are you going with all of this stuff? Very powerful. And Allah says, إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرٌ لِلْعَالَمِينَ لِمَنْ شَاءَ مِنْكُمْ أَنْ يَسْتَقِيمَ. This indeed, Quran, is a reminder for all the worlds, for whoever amongst you wants to walk straight. See, the Quran is a book, it's a divine revelation. Allah says, لِيُنذِرْ, to warn those مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا, who are alive. You have to be alive in your heart, in your mind, to understand the relevance of this revelation. لِيُنذِرْ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا, to warn those who are alive. And Allah is saying, where are you going with all of this? This Quran can benefit you if you choose and have the will to want to walk straight in life, the straight path of life. The Prophet would teach his son-in-law and cousin Ali to say, he would say, oh Ali, say, Allah mahdini wa saddidni. Ali, he would say, oh Allah, guide me and set me straight. And when you think of that, he said, think of how straight the road is and think of how straight the arrow is. That's how straight your road in life should be. So Allah is saying, all this noise and commotion, where are you going with all of this? For a book, like they say, for example, that the Prophet was inspired by the devil and all of these things. That there's no other book in human history that tells its readers to seek refuge with Allah from the devil, the accursed one. Allah says, you recite the book, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ, then seek refuge with Allah from shaitan, the accursed one. Even in other things like communication, you're talking to people, Allah says, say good words to the believers. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَهُمْ, because shaitan will seek to sow corruption between both of you. Shaitan, Allah as an ever-present entity, Allah is saying, be cautious of him, because he seeks to sow corruption and misguide you. And the Quran is telling us about how could the Quran therefore be from the devil if it's warning us so obviously and potently against the devil and his trappings. Allah says, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, where are you going with all of this? This is a reminder for all the worlds, for whoever amongst you wants to walk straight. The point is, you have to want to walk straight in life. May Allah keep us on that straight path of guidance and always make us of those who have that firm intention and willpower to want to walk straight in life. Ameen.